Hi guys, welcome to today's update. Thank you all for joining us. We've some useful things to share with the community. I'm going to touch on a lot of different aspects of the what's going on with the project. It's been very productive and busy the past 7 days or so. As you've seen, Herman and Boer have been kind of talking to the community as well, and everything is progressing well, but at the same time, we're very keen to be able to deliver all these things and show them to you guys. Hang on 1 second. I'm just going to share. I have some rough notes that I will be referring to, which cover most of the things that people have asked over the past few days. I've just shared them into the Telegram chat there a moment ago. So as you can see, as I've mentioned there, basically what is happening at the moment is I won't be able to go into too much detail right now. Herman was hoping to join us, but it was simply a case where he is talking to the development team about some of the new things that they're working on. We have been even more intensely discussing things with investors. A lot of the aspects that we've mentioned over let's say the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, are ready to go. This includes things like our web presence and the things that we mentioned with regards to discussing the planning of the storage module, which will be released in the coming months. But in this update, I want to just expand from that and mention that there are going to be, in the next couple of weeks, more things announced with regards to things like ecosystem, which I'll discuss more in a moment, and also the overall direction and strategy of the project will be discussed as well, because people have asked about this in the recent few days and in the past week, let's say. And while we have made a lot of progress in terms of planning that will cover the next few months, we still also need to finish off and coordinate that more specifically in order to give you guys a more concrete idea of what's going on. So what that means is that over the next week, we will put into practice some of the more low-hanging fruit that I mentioned, such as improving our web presence. This also applies to our website, which we're working on. There will be a facelift of all aspects of Cherry in the next few days. These are the things that Herman discussed about a month ago, which is essentially amounts to shoring up and reinforcing the Cherry brand. A lot of people have mentioned this and they want to know what is going to happen and how we need to represent the project better. We understand and we hear you loud and clear, and we agree. There has been delays on our end. There's been delays on my end as well about putting some of these things into practice. But we are acutely aware of the opportunity that is afforded to the project by the upswing in the market at the moment. And we are determined to capitalize on that and push forward with that. So the purpose of this update is just to specifically reassure you guys and let you know that there are different aspects in play. I'm just pulling up my notes here, bear with me. There are different aspects in play. Specifically, we need to focus and kind of build out the development aspect of the storage module. We need to hit the low-hanging fruit in terms of marketing. They're the first two aspects of it. And then aside from that, I just wanted to make you guys aware of the fact that there will be other strategic considerations around ecosystem and um, and you might call partnerships or at least business development that will be revealed and discussed over the next 14 days. So the project, in terms of what's being worked on, is in a somewhat of a transition phase to open ourselves up to the market more over the next 14 days. And then in the coming months, the focus will be on the storage product, but also some of the things that we'll discuss in the next 14 days that aren't specifically tied only to the storage module will also be put into play. Now, that might seem vague, and it is. I would love to be able to talk to you guys in more detail about all these things. But after last week being the internal team discussing the planning of all these things that need to go out, now we're in the phase where we need to kind of do our due diligence and check all of these things with our investors. It's very important that we do these things in the right way and that we don't start revealing things that are not necessarily 100% confirmed yet. There's no point in us discussing these things with you guys too early because it actually jeopardizes the chances of those things happening. But there will be market developments instigated by such as the things we've already mentioned, such as things that we can do to improve liquidity and things like that. That will be something that will be discussed in the next couple of weeks, and we'll also have, as I mentioned already, we'll have the revitalization of our web presence completed by then. With regards to that point, that specifically covers our social media presence and also our website presence. That's something that we're working on. I've been up early this morning and working on that all day. We are already discussing with our developers how to put these things into practice. There's some certain aspects of the website that are outdated. All this needs to be up to speed. So you will start to see over the next couple of weeks, over the next 3 weeks, a strong bringing forward of the project in those regards. Similar to this, there is also the outstanding issue of seedling, and specifically 3 projects that have been launched on seedling in the past, which are now nearing or past their distribution date. And a lot of seedling holders who have bought into those projects need to have their tokens or distributions allocated to them. So that is, as of last week, we kind of heightened the discussions with guys just to clarify what's happening there. One of our community members in particular messaged me about this yesterday. So we will be able to give you more news about that soon. And there's nothing to be concerned about at all. So it's more of a question of just executing that and finishing it off. I'm just going to check my notes. I think that pretty much covers all that I mentioned. I'm just going to have a quick look here. Or sorry, that covers all the things that I wrote down. And yeah, so to give a summary of, or the most important aspects of what I mentioned, I would say that there is a lot going on with the project. We're nearing completion on multiple aspects of it. We have been working very hard, although there doesn't seem to be much representation of the project on the web at large. We've been working very hard on things. We're at the stage where technical planning is in its end game. We're in the middle of discussing things with our partners and prospective partners, as you can see in the notes there. And that is when we're going to, so to speak, over the next couple of weeks. We are very appreciative of your patience in the past few weeks. We understand that it isn't particularly comforting when other projects are doing very well, which is a good thing to see. And Cherry, in terms of its market developments, is not really progressing. We understand that, and we're very keen to reward people's patience with improvements right across the board, from business development to technical releases to tooling to our market representation, our brand, given getting a brand facelift and all these kind of things. We will hopefully have Herman to discuss some of these things with us next week. But on the whole, we can't just give away details of all these aspects until they are ripe for discussion. So thankfully, our community have been very patient with us, and over the next couple of weeks, that patience will be rewarded. And we appreciate your further support. As always, we've got a very understanding and a very thoughtful community, and we want to push on and reward you guys for the trust that you put within us. So I think I'll leave it there. I just wanted to give you a brief update. We will be talking to you guys more over the next few days anyway. There are a couple of smaller things that will be released, so to speak, over the next few days as well. And the next few AMAs will be interesting and productive. And we're looking forward to discussing all the things that we've shared with you. We shared more concrete details right now, but it's not far off when we will kind of, really be able to show the fruits of our labor, so to speak, no pun intended. And we will discuss more in the next few days and next week as well. So thanks very much for your support, guys, and I'll leave it there.